Hey everyone, let's consider a word that gets thrown around a lot in schools. Assessment. You've probably experienced many different types of assessments, but have you ever stopped to think about what that word really means and how different school contexts can change the meaning? Let's break it down. Assessment comes from the Latin assidere, which means to sit beside. So it originally implied sitting beside someone to help them in their progress, whatever that might be. At its root, assessment isn't about ranking or punishing. It's about sitting beside a learner and figuring things out together. In schools today, assessment often gets reduced to grades, tests, and threatening exams. But it can also be a conversation, a quick observation, or a way to check in on how someone is growing. It's not just about what students get right, it's about how we understand their thinking. Let's look at assessment from both the object-oriented official theory of learning and the relational understanding perspective. Imagine two classrooms. In the first object-oriented classroom, assessment is designed to collect proof. It's used to observe students' work, checking for errors, gaps, and right answers. It records scores, labels progress, and files results into tidy boxes. From this view, assessment is an object designed to measure objects. It's a tool for measuring how much knowledge a student has learned. In this classroom, learning is something that happens inside the head, but to measure that, assessment is designed to observe and record some kind of outward performance and then tally expected observations. The materials could be paper tests, scantrons, or computer tests. The form is rigid. Quizzes, rubrics, checklists. Rigid because consistency matters more than context. Its purpose? To sort, to rank, to reward, and to penalize. Its function? To control, to keep things moving in a system where knowledge is standardized and performance is the goal. And what does it afford? Well, it affords students a narrow window with limited action. Show me what you know in the way I've asked. It affords comparison, certainty, and a quick turnaround. But often, it doesn't afford understanding. Not really. Now, step into a second classroom, our relational understanding classroom. Here, assessment is alive. The teacher moves around the room, listening in, kneeling beside a student who is asking questions, sketching diagrams, or sharing drafts. It shows up in notebooks, in questions scribbled in the margins, in conversations after class. In this context, where assessment is couched in embodied relational understanding, assessment isn't a test. It's a conversation. It's how we enter into a relationship with learning and understanding. Its material, well, it's varied and vivid. A photo of a science experiment, a voice memo explaining a map, a student's hand-drawn timeline, a journal entry about a moment of confusion. Its form is fluid. It changes shape depending on what's being learned. It might be a story, a project, a performance, or a question. Its purpose? Well, its purpose is not to label, but to illuminate. To help a learner say, here's what I'm beginning to understand, and for a teacher to say, let me meet you right there. Its function? Well, it deepens connection. It attunes both student and teacher to what's meaningful, what's emerging, and what needs attention. And its affordances, well, they're wide open. Revision, reflection, action, insight, dignity. It gives students not just a sense of what they've done, but of who they are becoming. Same word, assessment, but two very different ways of experiencing it. One is neat, efficient, and sealed off from the messiness of human learning. The other is relational, lived, and alive with possibility. But here's the good news. When we shift our understanding of assessment from object-oriented to relationship, from control to conversation, we don't just change how we assess, we change what students believe learning is for. So assessment isn't some cold, detached measure. It's an interactive structure, enveloped in a context that shapes and expands understanding and learning, not limit them. So, the next time you hear assessment, remember, it's not just a test. It's a way of sitting beside someone, helping them learn, and learning from them in return.